5 Stoic lessons about people nobody tells you, harsh truths that will shock you. Before I share these 5 lessons, I need you to do something first. Think of someone who hurt you, a friend who disappeared, a colleague who took credit, someone who promised one thing and did another. Got them in mind? Good, because what I'm about to share isn't just philosophy. It's the explanation you never got. Marcus Aurelius said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." But here's what nobody tells you, that choice starts with understanding people, not excusing them. Lesson 1. People act in their own interest, always. I know that stings, but stay with me. Even the people who love you, your closest friend, your partner, your family, they will, at some point, choose themselves. Not because they're evil, because they're human. We resist this truth because we want loyalty to be unconditional. But expecting that from imperfect people is how you set yourself up for betrayal after betrayal. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you have assumed these names good, modest, truthful, rational, a man of integrity, never let yourself act in contradiction to them, even if others fail to live up to theirs." He's not saying become cold. He's saying become consistent. You can't control what people choose. You can only control what you stand for. So stop measuring your virtue against other people's failures. That's a race you'll never win. Lesson 2. Disappointment is the price of unrealistic expectations. Here's a painful question. Has someone ever let you down, and later you realized you built a version of them in your head that never existed? That's not their fault. That's yours. We idealize people. We love the idea of them. Then, when reality shows up, we call it betrayal. Marcus Aurelius said, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." This isn't about making excuses for bad behavior. It's about understanding that your suffering isn't coming from what they did. It's coming from the gap between what you expected and what they were. Stoics don't expect perfection. They expect humanity, and humanity is messy. When you accept imperfection as a given, disappointment loses its power over you. Lesson 3. Kindness without boundaries is an invitation. Some of you are the most giving people in the room. You show up, you sacrifice, you pour out. And somehow you still feel drained, used, invisible. Here's the hard truth. Kindness without limits doesn't earn you love. It signals that your time, your energy, your peace are available to anyone who asks. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." You don't have to become hard, but you have to become clear. There's a difference between giving freely and giving because you're afraid of what happens if you don't. Ask yourself honestly, are you helping because it's right, or because you're afraid of being rejected if you say no? That answer will change everything. Lesson 4. Waiting for people to change is how years disappear. How long have you been waiting for someone to become who you need them to be? A year? 5 years? A decade? People don't change because you love them harder. They don't change because you wait longer. They change when they decide to, and often they don't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That's not surrender. That's wisdom. The moment you stop trying to fix, change, or convince someone, you get your energy back. You stop living in a future that may never come. You can love someone and still accept who they are today. You can wish them well and still choose not to wait. Lesson 5. Their opinion of you is none of your business. You've shrunk yourself for people who didn't even notice. You've stayed quiet to keep the peace. You've dressed differently, spoken differently, lived smaller, all to avoid judgment from people who are too busy worrying about their own image to truly see yours. Marcus Aurelius said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Read that again, slowly. You love yourself, but you're letting their voice drown out yours. Stop auditioning for approval from people who haven't even figured out their own lives. Your worth was never theirs to assign. 5 lessons. 5 uncomfortable truths. People act in their own interest. They will disappoint you. They'll take what you let them take. They rarely change. And their opinion? It was never the measure of your value. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So here's the real question after everything you just heard. What are you going to stop tolerating? What are you going to start protecting? Your peace is worth more than their approval, always.